Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are. Welcome back to the live stream. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is September 20th, 2019, otherwise known by some folks as iPhone Delivery Day. Right? It's iPhone Day? Isn't that a thing? My wife is supposed to have her iPhone delivered today. We alternate. I get the new iPhone one year, she gets the new iPhone the next year, and so on and so forth. But we're going to write a little bit of code today. I may need to step away if the iPhone delivery person is here. Better known as the FedEx folks. Better known as the delivery peeps. Better known as, it's not DoorDash, but it's, whoever. How's it going there, chat room? So good to see you. My gosh, we've already got a raid here today. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. A resub from KevDev. Thank you very much for that. We'll make donations to Coder Dojo for that. Good to see you, Copper Beauty. Thanks so much for the raid. You caught me just as we were starting up here. Gralden is here. Hugo Dahl. Sean is here. Goran Hal. Hello, good people.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
Greetings indeed. So good to see everybody. Webface, good morning, my virtual friends. Not virtual. Come on now. Jay Kerstatter, good evening. Looking through. Who's out? Sanad Meskin, hello. And Freckberg, hello. Svava Blount is here. Yes, we're going to have a little bit of mischief today. And everybody's going to be safe. The more you know. Let's see what else is going on. It is. It's going to be a good Friday. I have to cut short today. Got to get new glasses for the first time in 8 years. Ooh! Good luck to you there. Is that Karate? Fatih Karade. Welcome. Chris Jones, hello. Delivery people, aka those who rile up the dogs and cause cats to scatter. You're not wrong, Hugo. It's a little known fact. Think about this. Consider this for a second. Join me, if you will. Enter the mind. Enter the craziness that is my mind.
A nutless monkey could do your job.
And you'll see just how crazy my mind is. So we've got the dog, we've got the Amazon Echo, but we also, whenever there's an Amazon delivery, we get the notifications in email. We'll get the notification text message. We'll get the notification yellow ring thing on the Echo, and the dog goes nuts. I know when packages arrive. I don't need all these things. You know what I'm saying? And if we had a Ring doorbell, the Ring doorbell would go off. There's things here. So it's like, we get it. Okay, I got it. The UPS guy, says Kron Chris. You're right. Yeah, the UPS folks. Sound off, didn't realize I started. Dee Dee. Okay, I totally was messing with you there. JAF 1021 is here.
Hey, Ma! Can we get some meatloaf? We want it now!
I could go for some meatloaf.
What's she doing? I never know what she's doing.
I don't. So good to see you. Thanks so much. Good morning. Delivery people are just late, keep going to the wrong address. So here's the thing. Check this out. And this is why I started just a few minutes late. The FedEx folks were delivering the iPhones to the folks across the street. They didn't walk across the street and drop off mine. Or my wife's. So it's like, what, are you sending it on another truck? They're literally right next door to each other. What do you... I don't know. I don't get it. You have the Ring doorbell. Thanks so much for the follow. Who's our new follower there? Calican, thanks so much for joining us. Trouble is the dog goes mental every time the advert gets shown on TV. Oh, Chris, that's annoying. Is that Ed Orguez? Thanks so much for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. Clearly, FedEx just doesn't know who you are. I think FedEx needs to join us here on the channel. That would be fun. I don't know what we do. We might ship something. There's a thing there. I don't know. All right, let's get back into our project today. I'm going to start some music to code by. And I think today, just because I feel like it, I'm going to play green. There we go. This is some groovy music that'll get you in the flow, get you in the focus, so that whatever task it is you're working on, whether it's writing code, reading documentation, writing documentation, doing homework, whatever it is, help get you focused. Thanks so much, Mr. Carl Franklin, the author of this music, for letting us listen to it and working together here on the channel while we're writing some code. I'm green with envy that the wife is getting the iPhone 11 and not me, says Frackberg. No, not at all. Look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that. JAF 1021 has the emote game down. Look at that. All right. Way to go, Mom. Didn't set up the project yet. Not yet. How's it going there, Carrie? Thanks. Oh my gosh, look at that. Carrie setting up the project command for me. Thanks so much. Area 51, no time for deliveries. That's where you're headed? The Area 51 raid? I don't get that. They're going to raid Area 51? Good luck. Good luck at that. That's a lot of military folks there, and they got big guns. And I cannot lie. I'm a little hot on the microphone. Let's see if we can fix that. There we go. Yeah, it was a little bit hot. You're right, Chris. How's that? I think that's a little bit better. It was just a little... I'm pulling it back a little bit here. See if we can get that. I think that's better. Rather not spend your weekend sitting in jail, says Sean. Yeah. He's got a good point there. Super Viking, hello. I hope, I don't know if you saw yesterday, Carrie joined us, CPayet, she's Where is it? Right there in chat. Yesterday we were on the Dev Intersection channel together, and we interviewed our friend, Mr. Scott Hanselman. You know, Scott! Him. And we had a tremendous time. Just talking about all kinds of things that are going on in technology, things you can do with .NET that you might not know, right? He had found somebody in Spain that wrote an emulator for the PlayStation 1 game console, but this fellow wrote the emulator with Windows Forms and .NET. It was tremendous to see how they used the Windows Forms technology, and they wrote it with .NET Framework. So we did a little live coding on the show. We converted things to .NET Core. We tried swapping things out so they were using, instead of a file stream, a memory stream, and just some little tweaks to see what we could do to get more performance out of this really neat library that this gentleman had written. And it was pretty interesting. Yes, that was with the newly christened Sean Hasselhoff. I can't back that up. I can't. That was tremendous, chat room. Thank you so much for that yesterday. That Super Viking says, what did it have to do with WinForms? So here's the thing. The way the PlayStation emulator worked, it would try to paint the screen by setting each individual pixel. While Windows Forms with .NET has a background image capability, and you're able to touch that image and manipulate and work with that image as an image object. That's a byte array, right? A byte array in .NET with C#. So what was done was it was just a giant for loop to paste onto this image and swap it in to the user interface.
Just resubscribed for 4 months.
That's right here. Hey, thanks so much for that resub. I really appreciate it, and we'll make another donation to Coder Dojo. Hey, Nightshade dude, good to see you. So it was a simple solution using the Windows Forms capabilities as a canvas to be able to paint and refresh the screen. Really neat use of the technology. So, all right, let's So I saw the shout out for Carrie. Make sure, let me drop a shout out in there for Dev Intersection. We've got great guests coming up all throughout the next, month and a half, leading up to our finale on Halloween, which is going to be all kinds of hijinks, all kinds of craziness. Myself, Richard Campbell, we're going to have guests, and it's going to be a little crazy. Each week, join us. We're interviewing different folks. Next week, it'll be just me, and my guest will be Zoiner Tejada, and we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence and machine learning. I'll be live from TwitchCon. I'll be at TwitchCon somewhere there. I got to figure out exactly where, but I'll be in San Diego, not from the friendly confines of the Fritz family studios here. And I hope you tune in. So drop Dev Intersection a follow so you can tune in next week with Zoiner. Coming up in October, I can tell you, they haven't announced it yet, but just between us, okay? Don't spread any rumors here. John Papa and Dan Wallin on Dev Intersection. It's coming, all right? Don't tell anyone. There might be a little bit of JavaScript. Just let you know it's coming. So jealous of TwitchCon, you will go next year. It's going to be fun. It was really nice to see the originality of the intern says nothing else matters. He didn't think he could not make it work. If a student asked me to do that as a project, I would have told the student it seems to be a very difficult project. Yes, very, very cool. And Sean Hasselhoff? No, Sean Hasselhoff will not be, no. Sika player. Oh yeah, absolutely. We will make that happen. I still need to get you information. Drop me another line on Discord, and I will get you the information that you need for the event there. All right. I really like this music. I do. And I want to make sure, okay. I want to make sure, I want to put a shout out there. Yeah. Laying down the 411. Absolutely. No Sean Hasselhoff. Flav Creations asks, how is C# in comparison with Java? I'm pondering getting into C# for Unity. I already have experience with C++ for Unreal, but contemplating Unity. C# will always be free to develop with. Always. It's now open source, front to back, top to bottom. The compiler, the language is a standard. It's Microsoft has committed that the tools to compile and run, you can use whatever text editor you'd like with it, but you can build for Mono, you can build for .NET Core, .NET Framework, all, and when .NET 5 hits in 2020, you're going to be able to build with everything from the command line with your favorite editor for now, for always, and open source. That commitment you have from the .NET team. Java now has a license requirement that you now need to pay if you want to use Oracle's Java compiler. You can use other people's compilers, but if you want to use Oracle stuff, you're going to have to make a deposit at the Bank of Oracle. And that's okay. That's how they're going to make money with it, and if that's how they want to do business, that's fine. But they're tightening the reins a little bit on Java, and there are other folks that are making and have made Java compilers. So keep an ear out. There's other places you can go with that. Thank you for the host, Fairy Wings. But you can build with C#. Well, hang on. You can build with C# and .NET every platform. Windows, Mac, Linux, Mono, in the browser, iPhone, Android, Apple Watch, everything you can build with. So really, really great stuff. Almost time for .NET Conf. Yes, that is Monday. And that will be syndicated here all week long. Well, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It'll be live on the Visual Studio channel, but it will be hosted here. I will be offline Tuesday because .NET Conf. Wednesday I'll be offline, .NET Conf. Thursday I will broadcast in the morning from San Diego right into our show with Zoiner on the Dev Intersection channel. Friday morning, I think I can broadcast before we go over to TwitchCon. And I might be able to have a guest Friday morning. I might be able to have a guest join me, live and in person, if she feels like joining me. Make sure you, thank you so much for the host. Let me come back around. I was going to say, thanks so much for the host, Fairy Wings. Make sure you check out Fairy Wings. She's setting up to do a little bit of learning with Khan Academy, doing some HTML and CSS, walk through learning those with her. She's a creative person. She's done web development in the past, but doing some more with, storefronts and some of the things that she's had to manage for some of her creative business that she does around jewelry making. But to come back around now and say, you know what, I want to learn a little bit more about web development. That's tremendous, and I think it's a good opportunity for beginners to learn along with her and see where that goes. So, thank you so much for the shout out. Absolutely, Fairwings. Got to give some hugs over there. She's another Twitch partner. She's going to be around here for a while on Twitch, doing some really great stuff. Daniel CS says, Oracle made sure OpenJDK was feature complete. Yes, they did. And if they didn't, they'd have some problems. So, .NET Conf next week, TwitchCon. So, Friday morning we'll be live. Saturday is TwitchCon. I don't normally broadcast. Sunday, we can probably broadcast before I head over to the event. We'll see. So, I'm busy week next week. Very busy. I'm going to need a vacation. No. You know what we've got after we get back on Sunday? You know what we have after we get back? Ubuntober. All Linux, all month long. We're going to be doing Ubuntu in a VM. We're going to be doing Windows subsystem for Linux. We're going to be showing the new Windows terminal. We're going to be doing everything but Visual Studio 2019. Every which way, we're going to be writing code with .NET and continuing with our projects. And you're going to see just how seamless it is to continue using all those tools. And we'll be able to get some feedback over to those teams that, hey, this works, this doesn't work, this feels crazy, this doesn't. And go from there. It'll be a lot of fun. You heard that as blunt and thought I was making a plot reference. No. No. Will IntelliSense function well? I did have a problem with it on the Mac, and it had to do with the version. There was a versioning thing with .NET Core 3 and Visual Studio Code. We're going to make sure that works before we get into Linux. All right. Let's get into this. Let's head over to our project. Today, we're going to be going back. We're going to continue working on this feature that was originally requested from our friend Imperial. There it is. The user activity train. Wait, is that this side? I moved my light. That's better. I've got filler lights on the ground that fill in the green screen. So, we've been working on this feature, a user activity train. The idea is when some activity triggered by you, the folks in the chat room, happens, we want to affect an animation on the screen. It could be a follower, it could be a cheer, it could be a sub, but we want to, encourage those by showing some sort of an animation. And if that action happens again before the animation completes, increase a counter, grow the length of that animation, do something fun with it to indicate, hey, there's more of these that have happened as a train, okay? So we've already got features built using Blazor that allow us to track when the interactions occur, that allow us to send that information over to our user interface, that allow us to configure that on our server. Smab!
Smabook just resubscribed for 10 months. Not around a lot at the moment, but hi everyone, smile.
Hey there. So we have all the things, we have the information ready and delivered into our user interface. Now we can take those steps to actually do the animation, right? And we can do something as simple as, right, putting a counter on one side and having something crawl across the screen, whatever it might be. If it was our friend Fairywings channel, it might be a unicorn walking across the screen to the other side. For me, it might be the Fritzbot walking across the screen, gets to the other side, and the counter resets or something like that, right? But we have a counter on one side, or don't know. So that's what we have. You still have the chain links in SVG JavaScript. Oh, cool. Thank you, Carrie. Yeah, so that's another widget that we can drop into this same bot and enable. Now that we have a little bit of the plumbing built around it, right? The communication back and forth to the server to receive cheer information for this is the same that we can use for the custom cheer bar that we were building with Fairywings a few months ago. So we'll integrate these together and we'll be able to build and run this locally or distribute it and run it on Kubernetes out on a server somewhere, say Azure. Don't know. Why would I say Azure? Why would I ever do that? And yes, I have my Twitch hat on because I'm so excited for TwitchCon. I have 3 Twitch hats. There might be more next week after I get to TwitchCon. There might. Am I learning any information sites for... Oh, Fixter Jake asking about Angular. Yeah. Let's see. Angular IO, okay. No .NET Confat. No, there is no .NET Confat. There will be a Code Party hat for our code parties. And I understand that's spectacular. I was going to make a Blazing Pizza hat. What do you think? Can I make a Blazing Pizza hat? That would be good. We might be able to do something with that. Hey, Death Packs, right? So that could be a thing. Do I have my hats made at a local place, or is there a place online I use? There's a local place, Zeno, that I go to. It's a custom apparel place. Lids offers this same service. Lids is a place that sells ball caps at many shopping malls around the United States. They have Lids has a embroidery machine, like a 10-needle embroidery machine in their stores. But there's a place that I've been going to for years now called Custom Apparel at my local shopping mall. I drop in there, I give them a PNG, and they put it on the hats. So that's where my Visual Studio hat, my Azure hat, my Blazor hat, the Super C# hat, all of them happen there. No Angular today. No. With the burning flames as sequins, of course. I love that idea. That's a really good idea.
It can be done exactly how I want it.
It could be done.
The only question is, are you the man to do it?
No, actually, I think the man to do it's going to be Talk Custom. Ha ha! See what I did there? Cross-promoted another streamer. Oh, look at that. Michael Jolly's Azure hat got swiped. Swiped by the... Is that the kids? Nate? Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So... There's going to be a sequin jacket meetup at TwitchCon between myself and my purple sequin jacket and Talk Custom. And since I've got some things coming up with Ignite in November, I want to talk to Talk about getting another sequin jacket. Because he can make them custom. He's made them. It's like, oh, Talk, we got to do something. Totally got to do something. All right. So that's where we are with the user activity train. This is what we want to pick up and I want to continue with today. Did I even start Visual Studio yet? I didn't start Visual Studio. Now I feel bad. I need to share this resource. Which resource? Hey, Dane Alex. Good to see you. Welcome. Reversible Blazor. One for Blazor, one for Blazin pizza deliveries via Azure DevOps. Hugo. That's a cool idea. I Am Fletcher is here. Hello. Okay. Let's talk about, so my user activity configuration for the train. This is good. I'm okay with this. Here's how it's being stored as a JSON file, just on disk for right now, and we'll put it somewhere appropriate. Of course, you remember this was originally built for our friend Quill Tony. Can't wait to see her this weekend. My gosh. If you ever have a chance to see Quill Tony at a convention, at a sewing meetup, she goes and she'll do presentations at various sewing supply stores to show off how to quilt and some of her techniques. Make sure you connect and check out what she's up to. She's an expert, and she's a heck of a lot of fun to talk to and hang out with. So thank you for the shout out there, Hugo. Yeah. All right, so let's... Ooh, I like the idea of Adafruit on a hat. That would be cool. So, small world in Twitch coding. It is indeed. That's okay. Let's encourage folks to grow, bring in more folks that are interested in coding here on Twitch, and make it easier for everybody to learn together. So, this is the markup for the user activity train right now. It's receiving some configuration, and it's being made available in this component base that's my user activity train model. Thank you for the follow, Low MCE. Welcome. Let me know how you pronounce that, and appreciate you joining us here today with all the other developers. So, Dane Alex is a new coder, thoroughly enjoying PHP. No, boo. PHP has its place. It's a good place for folks to learn. It's an interpreted language, right? You can change it on your server, and it'll be picked up and run with the new changes. But that's also a little bit of the challenge, is because it'll be picked up and run with those updates, you can actually change your PHP on the server. Even if it's marked read-only, you can force a change to it, which would... could become a security issue. And that's where some of the security problems with WordPress come from. There are ways to do PHP with C#. Check out a cool project called Peach Pie that'll let you continue to write your PHP, but host it on a faster C# managed server. Really, really neat stuff there, Dane Alex. If you're enjoying PHP and you want to make it a little secure, you want to compile it, check out Peach Pie. I think you might be interested in what that comes up with. That project is free, and of course, C# and .NET Core, free and open source for you to use, and you can host anywhere with that. It is. It's a gateway language. It's a great on-ramp. It really is to development. So, Honey Pop, sup? How's it going? Good to see you.
Wow.
Thanks so much. I wish you could mix Blazor UI interaction with desktop usage. Honey Pop, stay tuned. We have seen some folks experiment with putting Blazor inside of an Electron app. Stay tuned. That's a thing, okay? Some folks have tried that, and more can happen. New York 167. PHP's terrible when your predecessor wrote 1,500-line functions. That's not a problem with PHP. That's a problem with your predecessor. 1,500-line functions, I don't care if you're using PHP, C#, VB, Java, JavaScript. That's a problem when you write giant functions. Don't do it. Fatih Karate says, I know a friend who did job interviews with PHP, ended up working with C#. Ooh. Okay. The bait and switch. So this is my component model that's going to manage that user interface, okay? This is doing the interaction, and it has these properties that allow me to interact with my user interface and also to receive information from the server. So I'm receiving information in C# about the JavaScript runtime, about my actor system, right? That's where all my business logic is. It's in an actor system managed with the Akka.NET framework. All my business logic is over there as far as connecting to Twitch, listening for messages, managed the threading of that, all those interactions, all that goo is over there. That allows me to focus this model on just receiving information about when events occur, processing them, and doing the appropriate action on my widget. Job offers are quite strange now, says Mead of Enum. You apply for C# and .NET, and you're asked to code Java. That's a mess. A lot of SQL in an 1,800-line stored proc. Oh my gosh, death packs. Yeah, that's a lot. Oh my goodness. All right. So, we have a way to get our widget configuration. We wrote some unit tests to make sure that that's loaded properly. We have a disposable interface on this because we want to make sure we stop the interactions with our server that are coming through JavaScript. We wrote a little bit of JavaScript interop to receive that information and pass it into my train model here. Okay? And here we go. Let me close this region. These are the methods that are going to be triggered when we get a new follower, when we get a new subscriber, when we get a new cheer. So these are JavaScript invocable. The JavaScript that's running in the browser can execute this C# code and take whatever appropriate interactions. Now, this is actually executing on the server. So the JavaScript is going to send a message to the server. It'll do something. In this case, I'm just writing a line out. And take those next steps. What I'd like to do is, when I receive the new follower information, take the appropriate steps to process and start or restart the train animation. And that's where I think we're going to start today. Hugo says, I saw one place that has positions open for C# and some other languages, but they say it's for Rails development. Well, that's interesting. C# for Ruby on Rails development. Okay. What they're looking for is actually people with experience and the know-how in other languages to bring that to Rails, and they'll be trained up on Rails. Interesting. Okay. So I'm also, in case the font looks weird, I changed fonts yesterday. No. Control Q will take me into that box. I want to look for the fonts. And I started using Cascadia Code. This is a new open source font released from the team at Microsoft that it's fixed width and it does the font ligatures. So where is it? I don't have one here. I don't have a fat arrow here somewhere. So when you do a fat arrow, it turns it into a single arrow like that instead of the equals and greater than. So that's kind of right. Instead of it being that with the space in between, it makes it one. which looks nicer on the eyes, easier to identify that. Dane Alex says, I have an excellent audio setup. The audio sounds fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining me here live on the channel. Welcome to DJ Fritzy Fritz's Hoedown. No. I don't know. Fira Code. Yeah, Fixter Jake. Fira Code's a great font for that. This is an open source font that the team is going to continue to grow, and it was built specifically intended for the new Windows terminal. But they said, you know what, let's make this freely available for everybody to use. It's Jokir. Thanks so much for the follow. And is that Digicool? Thanks so much for the follow as well. Need to kickstart a keyboard with a fat arrow key, says Super Viking. That's not a bad idea. But welcome to our new followers. It's Jokir. Good to see you there. Appreciate you joining us today on this Friday. So, this isn't exactly what I wanted to do right now. I don't want it to just write out a line here when we get a new follower. I want to figure out, do we need to... So there's a couple different steps that we need to do for each one of these, depending on whether or not we're configured as a train for that interaction. So what I think we need to do, right? Let's kind of spec out what we need to do for each one of these. If the train type is follower, if it isn't follower, stop processing, right? Let's stop processing if it's not a follower train in the new follower method. And we're going to do almost the exact same things in the other things here. If the train has not started, which means, right, that's an animation end timer, right? If the train has started, increment train, restart animation, reset timer, right? And if the timer, when the timer expires, right? Clear animation, clear count, clear train. 0, let's change that to 0 out the train, because we don't know what the train is going to be just yet. Honey Pop asks, could you abuse the train by and refollowing? There are ways to catch that. We might be able to see, you know, hey, we got a follow from the same person several times because we are receiving the new follower name, right? Maybe we put those new followers. And that's a good catch, Honey Pop. Store a list of the new followers so that we don't re-trigger the train for the same follower multiple times. Good catch, Honey Pop. Thank you. Well played there. We don't want the same person to start and stop and start and stop. Oh, look, funny, Honey Pop followed us, and again, and again, and again. And now the train's 30 deep, and we really only got one new follower, who's probably going to unfollow us after, just to smite us. Well, little did you know.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
Very particular set of
Skills I've acquired over a very long career.
Very long career. I know how to detect when you're messing with me, Honey Pop, and I'm going to stop it right now. Right? You can grow with them, and there are a lot of supportive people. Absolutely. You need to have a good teacher. It's Jokir. Okay. There's a lot of folks here on Twitch. I encourage you to check out the live coders. Lots of great folks that are teaching all about coding. And even if you're just starting out, they're doing some great beginners content there. Our friend Atomic J, who was here yesterday, she's doing some beginner JavaScript work, right? And I mentioned Fairwings a little bit earlier. She's going to be doing some beginner HTML work on the other side of TwitchCon in October. She's looking at getting started with that. Not that I'm saying that's what she's planning on doing. If she gets it, great. If not, that's okay too. But there's all kinds of folks out there that are doing this. Yep, you can join the Discord, and we're happy to answer questions and help you out. So, thank you for the follows. Is that Geico? Nuno Felipe Costa, thank you for the follow as well. Appreciate you joining us. So I think this is a good set of initial business logic for how the train should process, right? So let's do this. So I'm going to minimize the rest of these things. And this region, the disposable region, you know what? I'm going to just, I'm going to move that to the bottom here. It'd be nice if it didn't scroll when I did that. Okay. So when we get a new follower, right, we need to do something with this. Well, we need to let's figure out if the train type isn't follower, stop processing. Well, that's easy. I can say if configuration dot type does not equal, look at that, it turns it into the does not equal. That looks nice. Follow return. That's easy, right? Return task, completed task, right? Okay. And I should surround that. What do we do? That's better. Right? Oh, I always wrap these. This is something that my friend Steve Smith, our Dallas here on Twitch, taught me. Even if you have one line to your if statement, and you can omit the curly braces, unless it appears all as one line, wrap it in the curly braces anyway, so it's clear to somebody who's reading your code after the fact that this is the block that's going to be triggered by that if statement. And right, so you don't accidentally put something just before it, and then this return statement fires for everything because the one line was before it. So, thank you for the shout out there, Hugo. Look at that. What apps do you need to start for this? Oh my gosh, Carrie! Whoa!
Piet just gifted 5 subs.
Look at all the emotes. Look at this. Thanks so much for that. Death Packs, Fanny Reinders, Perry at Digital Ox, Legendary Moo, and Calvin A. Allen, our latest live coder. Congratulations, you've all got subscriptions to the channel, and we're going to make donations to Coder Dojo. Thank you very much for that. What do you need to get started with C# and .NET? You can download Visual Studio Code. You can download the .NET SDK from .NET, and that'll give you all the things to get started for C# and .NET. Thank you for the follow, Alec. Is that Alec? Alex ACU. Thanks so much for the follow. Love the hype. Nightshade dude with the Pog Champers there. Absolutely. That sort of issue has actually happened to be very well renowned in skilled devs, adding a second statement to an if block. Yeah, it's a pain in the neck. All right. Oh my gosh, and Honey Pop, thanks so much for the follow as well. Appreciate that. Pushing us towards our 8,000 follower goal. We get to 8,000 before November 1st. I will dye my beard rainbow for Dev Intersection. Maybe we'll do something for Ignite also. Maybe we can do something for Ignite. And for every 100 followers that this ticks over. So when we get to 7,800, I'll send out a sticker pack to anybody anywhere in the world. There you go. Dee Dee will dye her beard rainbow also for Dev Intersection.
Oh my.
I don't know. That's a thing. 36 followers away from another sticker giveaway. Might happen today. Absolutely, Hugo. Tell your friends, tell your families. My mother's watching. She's a follower. One of those 7764 is my mother. Another one is my father. My dog doesn't follow yet. I gotta work on that. But let's push that, we tick that over, and we will do another giveaway. Absolutely. Honey Pop's roommate follows me. Terrific. Thank you for that. So, and there was a question about, what was it? About one of the other ligatures here before we got the followers. Before we add the followers and there was a thing. There was a question about, I don't see it. If a refollower pops up, just make an animation that sets fire to that person. That's rough. Oh, there we go. Sanad Meskin was asking, how does it look at JavaScript, the does not equal, with the double does not equal? There you go. That's one equal. That's two equals. Right? And the triple equals? Oh, yeah. There is no four equals. That's just too much. Sign your parents up for Twitch. Tell them to follow C# Fritz. Do like Codeman Code says. Is that a Visual Studio setting? Asks Honeypop. No, that's a feature of the. This is called font ligatures. This is a feature that some fonts have that Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code. There's other editors that support it also, but they will enable and replace with the appropriate single character, right? Or it looks like two characters when I drag across it. That looks like more appropriately what the thing is that you're trying to type. Yeah, so if you have fat arrow notation, that looks pretty good. If you have double fat arrow, it looks even better. Is there a triple fat arrow? No, there's no triple fat arrow. But that's pretty cool. No, stop! No. No. Siri decided to raise her voice here. Okay. Just making sure. Need to make a font pack with smileys. I know, right? There was actually an update to Font Awesome today. And you'll be able to see there's like all kinds of new things that are in there as well. Not distracted at all. Totally distracted. Totally distracted. So that is Cascadia font. Cascadia code. Anybody's allowed to use that. Can I skip the part of explaining to my parents what Twitch is? That's a headache I don't think I want to have. Yeah, I think you can do that. Yeah. Because you don't have to tell them now, oh, it's the thing that Ninja's on. No, you can tell them, oh, it's the thing that Fritz is on. Death PK BR, welcome. Thanks for the follow. So, all right. If it is not a follower train, exit. All right. So I've got that done. If the train has not started, start it. So I need some sort of indicator that the train has started. Angry little hamster.
Angry_little_hamster just resubscribed for 2 months.
Wow. Thanks so much for that. I appreciate your follow. And we'll make another donation to Coder Dojo. Nah, Ninja's not on. He was on Twitch. He's not on Twitch anymore. He's over on the Mixer. So we need an indicator if the train has started. And we need to have a timer that goes along with that. So, chat room, if I create a timer property, is the fact that the timer is running enough to indicate that the train is active? Or do I need another Boolean property that the train is active or not? Have I tried to whistle? No. Fritz is greater than Ninja. Nice. Unless we're talking about Ninja Bunny, but that's another story. That is a complete other story.
You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man.
I'm the dude. Ninja Bunny's the Ninja Bunny. Don't mess with Ninja Bunny, okay?
People know me.
And people know her. And all the great stuff that Ninja Bunny's doing. So, Ninja Coder, that's what she is. Absolutely. I can't wait. Ninja Bunny will be at TwitchCon also. Ninja Bunny, InstaFluff, yes. Code Rushed, Lucky Number 7, Talk to Me Gooseman, No Opcat, Node Botanist, Fierce Kittens, Nick Larson, oh my gosh, Pseudo Kid, Sika Player, that tremendous group that are going to be at TwitchCon from the Live Coders team. And then next year, I want to get at least 30, 40 of us there. I want to have a TwitchCon meetup for the live coders. Like an official TwitchCon meetup, not just, hey, we're having dinner this evening. Erolind, thanks so much for the follow. Appreciate you joining us and helping out with our follower goal here. Next year, FritzCon. You're not wrong. My live coders jersey is actually packed. I need a ta-da command. That's not a bad idea. But yes, well,
do your best.
We'll do our best. But yeah, we will have a live coders meetup next year if I have anything to do with it. And if you've seen the work, the prep work that I've done for the event this year, oh my gosh. The live coders don't know just how, the ones that are going to be at TwitchCon, right? The one I'm mailing out jerseys to all the ones that applied and got and asked for one. And we're going to send out more. But they don't know what's coming to them. And oh my gosh, it's so good. Erolyn, do you make tutorial and streams for beginners? Yes, I do. Check out the YouTube channel. I have a couple of streams over there that'll help you out as a beginner. Darn Skippy. That's right, Marcus, voice programmer. Will I be wearing a Nick Fury eye patch at the Live Coders meetup? No, I won't. I will be wearing a purple blazer, though. You won't be able to miss me. Okay. So I think, let's try setting up a timer property, right? Right, can I just do public timer? Can I just do that? Generates an event after setting an interval with an option to generate recurring events. Yes. And we'll call this train timer. Just make that a get set, right? So what I can do when I get a follower, right? I can, right? Can I say if train timer dot, there it is, enabled, whether it should raise the timer elapsed, right? Can I tell if it's started? Well, there's start by setting timer enabled to true. Okay, so I'll be able to detect if it's enabled. Okay, so if the train timer is enabled, right? So it's running. Well, if it's so if it's not enabled, we need to send some notification to client side that, okay, start the train. Yeah. Fritz with the rainbow beard. I'm not going to do the rainbow beard.
I'm Scott. I'm new here.
Julix, thanks so much for the subscription. I appreciate that, and welcome. It's okay that you're new here. And we'll make a donation to Coder Dojo. You're going to get a purple hat and access to 17 emotes that you can use everywhere here on Twitch. I very much appreciate that tier 1 sub. So, what's this from Code? Instead of Avengers Assemble, it's Coders Compile. Ooh, that's pretty good. Noriyukas, thanks so much for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. Man, the hype today. I need to get this follower train working so we can actually, like, see it working. You know? Like, it's doing a thing. So maybe, do we even need to see if it's enabled? Can we just start with, right, just reset the timer and go, right? Can we just say timer dot, train timer dot interval, right? To which, at which to raise the elapsed event. Yes. Okay, so timer dot interval equals configuration dot, right, what is it? The max time between actions in seconds. Now, once it has milliseconds. So let's do this just because from seconds, right? I mean, I could do the multiplication here, but I'd rather do it like that so it's code driven. That way, if we change it later, we just change a little bit of code. but coders assemble, coders compile. That's a great idea. I like that. Well, Codeman codes. I really like that. Just doesn't have the alliteration of the original. No. Do coders link up when they cooperate? Do we link up? I see where you're going there. No, we don't link. We copy? No, I don't know. Normal Lino, normal Nor. Welcome. What? Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So that will reset the interval. I don't think I want to. I think we want to write train timer dot stop. Reset the interval and train timer dot start. Right? That should work. I use it as an introduction in CodeRush's bot. Oh, but it's not copyrighted. Hey, Alka. Good to see you. Normalino. Yeah, it's a... Wow, a spam bot. Wow. Good to see you, Alka. Yeah, Normalino. Take care. Bye-bye. Nice knowing you. Alright, so that's all I need to kick off the train. Well, at least reset the timer. We need to restart the animation then. Maybe I restart the animation, right? Maybe we just say start animation, whatever that is. And we need to have some sort of a counter to go along with that. Right? And maybe start animation manages the counter in there. No, manage the counter here. So, right? Just have counter, no. This dot counter plus plus. Look at that, it put the pluses together too. No problem, Meta Venum. Let's talk about, let's recap what the follower train does real quick. For those that are coming in, we talked about this up at the top. The idea is that we'll have some kind of an animation that either goes across the screen or has some sort of a counter that goes up. If we have a user activity, in this case a follower train, a new follower within a certain number of seconds, right? If we have a new follower every minute, right? If we have a new follower right now and another follower in 30 seconds, the train will increase in either length or count. So it would be, so there you go, there's a new follower. Thank you, Ornung Live. Appreciate you joining us. And so we would have one. Now, if we got another follower within the next 5 minutes, or whatever the duration of the train interval is, we would increment that to 2. But we would show an animation going across the screen, this way, going across the screen to kind of encourage folks and show, hey, let's make this grow. So these are the few steps. We're going to have a timer. We're going to have a counter that goes along with that, and some sort of an animation. So it can be interesting to create and be able to customize this appropriately for all kinds of folks' different channels. Oh no. Is that another spam bot? I love being human. Really? Yeah. It's the exact same one. Thank you. Thank you, Hugo. That's getting a little annoying. Yeah, you're right, Nightshade dude. So I need a property for the counter. when we make it a public property like this, counter, it's visible to the model page. I'm able to reach in and receive it to the template. There will be a lot of them soon if Twitch doesn't catch them. You're not wrong, New York. You're absolutely right. You know what, Twitch bots?
I expect you to die.
I will go Auric Goldfinger on you. Here. There goes one. There goes another one. And another one. Oh yeah. We're breaking them all over the place. Bring your bot in here. Is he the one who made the vacuum cleaners? Auric Goldfinger. No. No. Love the Banhammer emote, Genescu. Nice. Alright, so now I've set these things. Start. You know what? Let's do an await on the start animation, because that's going to call into some script and train start. So, right, we're incrementing the counter. I think we also need to hook up to the train timer an event, right? Because it's a timer, so that when it elapses, we clear it, right? And that's probably going to happen in our constructor to wire up that event. You know? Train timer elapsed. There it is. There we go. It'd be nice if plus equals had a ligature. That'd be a nice one. Why not draw them as they come so you don't need to wait for anything? Just calculate if it's out of the border, then remove it from the list of usernames to draw. What do you mean? I'm not sure. Okay, so I have an elapsed here. So when it elapses... Oh, the ligature. How would the ligature be a plus over the equals? I don't know. Right? To have them kind of go together. Okay, so when it elapses, we want to reset the counter. Right? Right? The timer expired. It stopped. We also want to stop the animation. Well, the animation should stop on its own. So I think we're okay on that. There's a dot equals ligature? Is there? Ooh, look at that. Okay. Yeah, something similar would be great. So that may be all that I need for this if my animation has a fixed duration. So let's create a start animation, right? This will be a private async task start animation. How did I forget the N in start animation? I mean, really, right? So we're going to want to call in the JavaScript runtime invoke async, invoke async, invoke void async. I don't care what comes back from this. Start animation. Actually, we might not. No. What to do here? I don't want to write JavaScript to do that. So let's make this an async task. There we go. That goes away. That's good. So if the train has not started, start it. Animation timer. Right? I don't want to touch the JavaScript. Concatenation with the dot is a PHP construct. Yeah. On a new follower, add it to a list. Timer is ticking, and on every tick, it moves position of a username by X. So when username X position is out of bounds, just remove it from the list. So the timer can tick and not track anything. Oh! I see what you're saying, Sinad Meskin. To do the track and make sure that we don't trigger new followers for every time. That's a good point. So now I don't, right? I can just say return here, right? So now that I made that async. You're right. Let's track new followers. And we'll just create a method for that. And we'll figure out what goes in there in a little bit. But you're right, we need to do that. Oh, there. Oh, Alka, I like that plus equals. Oh, I like that plus equals. A parallel to the train could be a snake or worm and have the followers have their icons in random places on the screen, and the snake worm could eat them and have it grow as it eats them. That could be a little creepy there, Jonathan Delfrace, but let me continue reading. Each new follower could add pellets or food for the follower snake worm. It could be animated to come out of the screen or ground. Can I take your idea and spin it just a little bit? What if the train became the followers' profile pictures? Right? If it's the follower, and you see these little faces become a longer and longer train, and when it runs out of followers, then they all get wiped off the screen. Oh, here's another one. Yeah. You know what? Bye-bye. The spam bots are annoying. Each of the cars could have a picture icon as a billboard. Yeah, I like that idea, Jonathan Delfrace. That's a great idea. That's a really great idea. But I think that's one of the customizations that we can do here, right? I think there's going to be several different customizations that we'll be able to drop in to do those types of things. I really like what you're talking through there. You know what? Do you mind? Can you do me a favor and write up the suggestions you have? Just drop them in here on the issue as suggestions for how to format the train. I really like that. And to be able to make that customizable, right? There's some features that we can add. Janescu. Boats, trains, cars, planes, all kinds of things. Pokemon? Sure, Pokemon. Container ships. If you like containers like Robert Tables, you could do that as well. Absolutely. Balloons with the profile pic. I don't know anybody who does that, Michael Jolly. Nobody at all.
It's illegal in 9 countries.
So nobody does it. Oh, you do it. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh.
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
You did. And now I just have to write the code to put it on the screen. All right, so we're going to start the animation. I don't know. Real balloons that float up the screen. Or a plane banner? Sure. Illegal in 9 countries. Normal and everyday occurrence in Sweet Home, Alabama. Gotta say Alabama right, don't you? Planes and such. When the timer expires, clear the animation, zero out the train. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. Okay. You know what? I love where this is going. This is, and I thank you, chat room, for the interactions. Really great. And chat room, can I ask a favor? I mentioned it, and we're at a pretty good quorum now. I like to do these types of announcements and requests at about an hour in. I mentioned about a few weeks ago, I was interviewed by Wired magazine. The folks on Wired have asked if they could get a screenshot, some screenshots from the channel that they could use in the publication. Is there a particular clip or something that's happened on channel that's like prototypical Jeff? Something that would be great to put to have as the image to go with that article, the Sean Hasselhoff announcement. No, That was a video. That wouldn't. There's nothing on screen for that. Some perhaps Java, non-JavaScript. It was fun. The Sean Hasselhoff. We're gonna have to. Oh. It's gonna be weird with Sean Hasselhoff next week. I'm actually gonna see him in person. Oh, it was very cheeky, DJ Bass. The dazzling purple jacket from the .NET call. There's a couple of those. There's a couple of things like that. What do you think? Let me switch over here. Because I'm going to pause writing code here for just a little bit, and I want to get your feedback. A clip with the squad stream with Fierce Kittens, or with a Bits for Bytes participant. Yeah? Short tacos flying by. The .NET Rocks. The problem I have with the .NET Rocks calls is there's not a lot of code on the screen. I'd like to at least show some code on screen. There's some tacos. Everybody loves tacos. It's not wrong. I love doing the whole Jim Gaff again. Just the breathy double thinking of things. I don't know. We could try to manufacture one now. We could, right? I could go back over to the code, right, and have something on screen, and back to this and go. That's a thing. Right. Did I get partnership while live? No, did not. Try to look demonic. It's a thing. Yeah, they did not announce to me my partnership while I was live. I got an email. It was about 7 o'clock at night, and I was actually out at dinner at the time. I was driving home from dinner with the family. Stopped at a stoplight and saw that I had a new email on my phone because it popped up on my watch, and just peeked at who it was from, and I saw it was from Twitch Partner Program. I'm like, I was declined again. Got home, opened up the email, and I just went bonkers when I got the email that I made partner. Nailed it. Uh-oh. Red said email, promptly ran into poll. No. No. Show the error box filled with compiled errors and me giving a thumbs up. No. Oh, that'd be terrible. Uh-oh. Wait a sec. Wait a sec. What is this? There's something going on over on Twitch, over on Fairy's channel. She just mentioned me in the title of her stream. What? What? Svava, is Svava still here? Svava, we're gonna have to take a peek over there. Stand by, friends. We gotta see, what did Fairy just do? What? What's going on over there?
I'm Scott, I'm new here.
Hey! Well, thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate the sub. Ooh, community gift chest. I don't know what that is. Sure, I don't know what this is. Whatever. I don't know. There's a thing Fairy's doing. Chainmail. See, there she is. 18 inches. Oh, she's doing a lanyard. Oh. Neat. All right, let's continue on our... thank goodness that video name isn't what... yes, it's a lanyard. Okay. So the model is set up to... Right, I think this is inappropriate behavior. I might not even be able... Might not have to set the animation here. Right? I might be able to just say if train timer dot enabled. I might be able to do that. Right? I might be able to do that. Now, let me put the start animation back on there. There it is. Okay. So here's the actual markup. Okay, we have that. Format the HTML, set a timer, animate. Right, so let's format the HTML. We have the timer. We have that done, and we'll do the animation. So I think we can do the animation for this with a little CSS animation. That way it's running in the browser with all the acceleration of the browser, and it isn't me saying, okay, now move 5 pixels. Okay, move 5 more pixels. Let the CSS animation do it. The browsers are optimized to handle CSS animations like that. So I'm going to remove this title. Yep, I'll leave the weighting up there. Get rid of the train type. Okay. So what do we make our first train? So maybe we start with a counter, and we just output the value of the counter, right? And we'll format that with some borders or something, right? And if I had maybe what would be good to have to start? Just something that goes across the screen, something that I don't know. Copperbeardy's wondering if my sparkly jacket is actually micro solar panels for charging my phone on the go. That's a great idea. Oh yeah, we can put up the timer. Sure. Right? We can ID equals time remaining. Right? And we should be able to say timer, train timer dot elapsed. Should be able to do that. The jacket powers my dazzling smile. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right?
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
Maybe. Which GitHub project did I want you to... Oh, I provided the link to it here. Let me just... There it is. There's the issue. Thank you, Jonathan. Elapsed can only appear on the left-hand side of a plus equals or equals. Oh, that's the event. I don't want the event. I want to know how much time has gone by. I don't know how much time has gone by. Well, how do I know how much time has gone by? Right? The timer... How... That's why I need a start and end time. Rats. So... If we... Okay. So if I have a date time for the start time... Let's call this local start time. First start time. I think you're going to see where I'm going with this in a minute. If this dot counter is 0, first start time equals date time dot now. Local start time equals date time dot now. Okay. So then I can have the time right. The time remaining. It's going to be a time span, right? Time remaining is all right. It's date time dot now dot subtract local start time total seconds. Okay, so that's the total seconds since minus minus configuration max time between actions in seconds. But I want that as a time span. So time span from seconds. Does that make sense? Help me out there, chat room. Return that. So date time now, subtract the max, subtract local time, when it started, the total number of seconds between, minus the max time between. This needs to be the other way, right? No, not UTC now. Nope, don't care about UTC now on this one. It doesn't matter because it's a relative time. Yeah, you're right, TBD gamer. Bazinga. I need the bazinga. Yeah, so that makes more sense when we look at it, that it's always, right, the relative time. I don't care that it's, for me, 11 a.m., or for you, maybe it's 3 p.m., or maybe you're 8:30 a.m. You know, it doesn't matter because we're subtracting that out to get the number of seconds. Should it be start time or last event time? Sure, we can call this first event time. And I'm using the refactor to rename here. You see in Visual Studio, just there above me. Last event time. Right, so that's the last time that the event happened, and the time remaining is that subtraction. Okay. So what I'll be able to do is just put time remaining. Ah, come on. There it is. ToString and can I do it like that? No, that's not how I want to do it. I want to do it as I want to format it as minutes and seconds. So it would be like this, right? I think that'll work. Why do you need first event time? Would the time remaining always be based on the last event time? Train has been going for... Wait. Ugh. Now we can go first event time. Subtract. The other way around. Right. Date time dot now dot subtract first event time. Right, so that's a time span. So ToString minutes, well, minutes and seconds. Yeah, hours, minutes, seconds, like that. That should work. So now, right, I've got how long the train has been going, time remaining, as three different, there. Yeah, so the Michael Jolly, I'm thinking I can also extend this a little bit in the future and have like record, right? Our longest train was 52 or whatever it is, right? Alligator Blood asks, is .razor the extension for Blazor views? Blazor, both views and components. You can compose these together. This one is a view because it has the page directive here at the top. We're specifying the route that this will be triggered on, /widgets, /train, and then whatever the channel name. This way, we can see, right, easily inside of our Razor page here, our Blazor component, where it's going to be retrieved at. I think that's enough for us to at least give it a try and see what happens. Let's see if this compiles and runs and does all the things. So, oh, and there's, I know, Michael Jolly, you do a lot of things with saving some of this data off so you can look at it and put some statistics over time together, we might be able to do some things here, save that data off for here's what my maximum was and it occurred at this date and whatever, and be able to do something with that. So here we go. Come on, .NET. Come on, .NET.
You can do it!
Get started. Here we go. Love data. All right, welcome to the PixelBot. My name is Jeff. I'll be your host on the PixelBot today. We're going to log in. I've got Auth0 hooked up, so we can log in to Twitch by way of Auth0. There we go. There I am. I'm going to go to my configuration. Here's my configuration for this train, and we'll add other features here that you'll be able to configure. I'm going to turn this around and make it a follower train, and let's make it, if I made it 300 seconds, it would be every 5 minutes. So let's make it 600 seconds, so it's every 10 minutes. There you can see it just saved it. It'd be nice if I had a save indicator there that showed that I saved that data. Yep, good. I need a link to jump out to the widget here. But let's go to it. Widgets, train, C# Fritz, and boom goes a dynamite. That's a problem. Train timer isn't anything. We need to make it a thing. Now it is. Try again. Now if the streak is going, it could be like the time added got decreased by time if it is configured as such. Oh, there's all kinds of ways to configure it, absolutely. When the first follower is found, you can put a tunnel in the left of the screen to let people know the train is coming, so it doesn't just come in from nowhere. Oh yeah, as a visualization. If it was, Jonathan, if it was a train, like a train, yes. If it was planes, maybe it flies out of some clouds at the top of the screen. If it's boats, maybe it comes out of, I don't know, what do boats come out of? A dock. It comes out of, you know? Absolutely, all kinds of different themes that it could be. Maybe it's a spaceport and it's X-wing fighters that come flying in. All the things that we could do. Yes. And I just threw the space one in there with the X-wing fighters because I know Imperial's going to want to customize this when we show it to her. All right, so here we go. Over to the, and I still broke it. Input string was not a correct format. What are you talking about? Oh, well, that's a problem. That's definitely a problem. Oh, you know why? Time remaining, we shouldn't return anything, right? Time remaining should be 0 if it's not active. And train has been going for should be 0 if it's not active as well. Let's go back over and fix those. This. Let's take this one. And let's make this train duration. Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good. I like it. All right. There they are. So let's set up another property. Public time span, right? And I called this train duration. And this is a C# property that we're going to return a value from. So it's a get. There we go. And there's that, and that's the duration. Duration since the first entry on the train, right? If first event time if it equals date time dot min value, then we want to return time span dot 0. Otherwise, that value. That looks a little bit better. I should put that on another line. Come on. Make it look pretty, Jeff. There we go. Okay. All right, so time remaining. So this was the other one that's kind of whifty. That's what my grandfather used to say about some of these things. That's whifty looking. Right? I'm going to bring whifty back. That's what I'm going to do. Whifty. It's not right. It's whifty. Time remaining is a read-only property. Yes, it is. Right? You can't set the time remaining. You can just retrieve it and read it. So, thanks. Thanks there, Ed. Yeah, whifty. That was a term my grandfather used to use all the time. I'm going to bring that back. Look, keep an eye out for lots of whifty. It's rainbow poop and... Nope, no rainbow poop. Maybe Fairy Wings would do that, but no. Okay. So if last event time... If last event time is... if that is datetime.minValue, then we'll return time span 0. Otherwise, that. Right? Okay. So let's set default these to datetime.minValue. Right? By this syntax that you see here with the equals after the declaration of this property, this is a C# feature that lets you set an initial value for these. This way, the date isn't something weird hanging out there. We know it's always the same value. So, I also want to go, when we had a new follower, if this counter first event time equals this, oh, where was it? When the timer elapsed, we need to reset those times. Right, first event time equals datetime dot min value. Last event time equals datetime dot min value. There we go. All right. You've heard nifty but not whifty. Yeah, things are nifty. That's neat. That's interesting. Whifty, it's kind of weird. It's not. It's a little whifty. It's a little strange, a little off. It's not quite right. It's whifty. You know, whifty. Whifty's a thing. Let's make whifty a thing. How we doing there? Plenty of time. The power glove. Yes. Need to be careful there with the folks at Nintendo. Right? All right, here we go. Pop this out, bring it over here. Dun, 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 dun. Doing the stuff. Okay. Go there. And there's nothing on the screen. Might be right that there's nothing on the screen, but input string was not in the correct format. Yeah. And it won't tell me what that input string was that it was looking at. Format customized on the time span. All right. So I have a 0 coming out. It should format properly. Love the Blazor logos there, Ed. Oh, great emote. Skip the formatting for now is being suggested. That's fine. Sure, we can do that. Look at that. Just put a space in there. So it'll have that literal text there because it's separated from the C#. Oh, man. Try to escape the colon. Don't need to. It's inside the C#. The compiler knows that the Razor interpreter knows that that's C#, and we're okay there. There we go. That's not the right chat. That's not the right widget. User, right? Widgets, user activity. Like that. Why didn't I find that? Train, that's what it is. Why am I apologize. Okay. So it's the formatting. It's the 2-string formatting. What? Time span, C# format. Right? Hey, look at that. Our friend Ed Charbonneau on the ball, grabbing the custom time span formats here. So that would be if I put it inside of it, I need the backslashes. So HHMMSS. Yeah. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but okay. What program am I using? This is Visual Studio 2019 Community Preview. Thank you for the follow, Blur. Appreciate you joining us. I'd like it like that. No. Wait a sec. The number of hold days? No. Isn't there like a short format? Whatever. Yeah, HHMM should have worked. HHMMSS, right? You have to backslash the dot, but the colons work just fine. That should have worked. Right? I mean, the one thing that I am looking at here is... I'm not sure where the... Oh, the 0 is the initial counter. That's... You know what? I'm okay with those, actually. That's not too bad. Right? Let's put a break in between these. Right? I could say train length. And actually, we received a new follower there. We should have had it increment the train. Yeah, I need to just restart. Let's see what we get. Darn Skippy indeed, Copperbeard. Here we go. Come on. Come on. I should put a link to the widget inside the configuration here. I really should. Widgets. Train. Me. Oh, you know what? It's not attached to the channel. That's why. It's not on the channel. Now it's listening to the channel. Right. Now I should start getting follower notifications on the channel. Ooh, you had to escape the colon. Hugo, I did not know that. Is there anybody out there that can click the follow button for us? Otherwise, I'll write a little test here to force these so we can get it to appear. There we go. Thank you for the follow, Clasilla and Kappenstein. Oh, look at that. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. And Marcus Voice... Wait a sec. Marcus was a follower. Flank Steak. Now, the train isn't growing. Okay. So... We're... Oh, wait a sec. There we go. It just received them down there. Did you see it? There it is. Method or operation isn't implemented. Track new followers. Oh. Okay, so I did receive the information. Oh, boy. It got to here and stopped because... Not implemented exception. Don't do that for right now. Don't do that. I know. Well, thank you for the follows, Flank Steak and Kappenstein and Clasilla. I appreciate the follows. Gosh. And I think we're going to need to crank up the resolution on the follower service so that it picks it up more frequently. Hang on. Let's go back over to my configuration page. Right, the where was the channel configuration for that? No. Here we go. This I need to pull out and put into its own thing so it can be included here as one of the available features. It's not, I can't do it just yet, but we'll get there. Let's add right underneath this ahref equals slash, right? Slash widgets train and configuration dot channel name view widget. Yeah, that should make it easier to get there. I need to escape the colon for legacy reasons. All right, let's do that while we're here. So time remaining, toString, hours, minutes, minutes. Oh no, wait. It's not going to be hours in between these. Minutes, seconds, like that. toString. So this one will be hours, minutes, seconds. That should work. What'd you do? Foreplay. Welcome. I see what you did there. Nice. Mentioning it for completeness. I appreciate that. About the formatting there, that takes care of that. Okay, so now I can go into configuration, and there's view widget goes to the right place. Hey, that looks nice. How fast it popped in there. So, join channel? Oh, I forgot to join the channel. Good point. There it is. Go back over here, go to the widget. And now it should be listening and able to respond if we get a follower. Let's do this. I had started on the test controller so we could kind of force a follower. Hub context clients all new follower name. So what I should be able to do is go to test controller API/test and pass in a follower name that we want to have happen there. There's Zlucian trying the. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, friends. I appreciate you helping us test. So, Stream Elements has the event coming out properly. Okay, let's see if this picks up and receives. Because sending data. Right, there we go. New followers. And it didn't do anything with my train. Perhaps the status of the channel that the bot is connected to on that page during our testing. Status of the channel. I'm not sure I follow. So somewhere this got lost in the ether. All right, let's go back to the model. So new. Okay, so here, this should hit. And we should be able to see the start. Does the widget need to be notified that the state has changed? No, I don't think so. There we go. So there's a thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. K Cocaine. I appreciate that. All right, so configuration type is follow, so it should continue. Track new followers is going to do nothing. Stop the train timer. That's fine. The interval is 600, so it's going to turn that 600 seconds into 600,000 milliseconds, right? Good. Oh, thank you for the follow, HC900. So if the counter equals 0, the counter is incrementing. Increment the counter, start the animation, and start animation isn't doing anything. And this should now be enabled. True. Okay, so the counter is running, but you're right. I think I do need to force. There we go. There's another follow. Let's put a break there so we can see that. But I think you're right. We need to force a refresh of the page. That, oh, this value has changed. You need to repaint the page. I think you're right on that. Now, how do we do that from Blazor? Well, Blazor server side, right? Server, Blazor. Is it state has changed? State has changed. Is that? I know that's. Isn't that what it is in client side? Oop, there it was. Hey, look at this. Look who wrote this. Ed Charbonneau. That's actually the name of his blog. Yeah, I guess fire state has changed. Okay. All right. It hasn't hit the timer here yet. You've heard of him. He's pretty good. Oh, that's good to know. I tell you, wise guys. Okay. So after we set here, can we just say state has changed? Notifies the component the state has changed. This will cause the component to be re-rendered. Fantastic. I think for the timers up here, we're also going to want those to render as well. He's everywhere. That Ed Charbonneau. Right? So I'm going to want an interval that every so many seconds we repaint the time on the screen. Right? Yeah, I want to do that as a recurring, right? So if we have a every second interval that it updates, right? So if we have another timer, and this is the, we'll call this the UI timer, let's say. Right? UI timer interval equals, right, that's a double in milliseconds. Well, I want it to refresh every second. UI timer dot, I want it to be an interval. I want it to reset, right, and just keep right on going. Start, and then every time that it hits it, right, elapsed, I could, well, elapsed, what does, elapsed didn't receive, it receives a object, and so I can do this, and I can say state has changed. Start, and every second it should call state has changed. Take care, Ed. It needs to be invoked asynchronously as such. Invoke async. Really? Hey, Jay Roseguard, good to see you. But I want the timer to keep triggering. Right, every time. C# timer class. Right, I want this to not just, right, yeah, I want it to do recurring events. Yeah, where is it to do? Okay. That fires its elapsed event every 2 seconds, sets up an event and handler and, okay, set timer, elapsed equals, right, auto reset equals true, that's it. I feel like these should be set up higher. Right? Like here in the where's the constructor? Right, like that. And when the train timer elapses, UI timer stop. So that the only thing going down here is start the timer. And really, I only want to start the timer if UI timer dot if it's not enabled. Now, I'm going to leave this all on one line because it's short enough that it can stay on one line and it's kind of clear. No, I think we're okay to call status change like that. I think we're okay. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get that to fire. And we'll probably call it a day shortly after this, because I think we'll just have the user interface working where we have these timers rolling. And we'll be able next time to start customizing the animation. So let's join the channel. Okay. There's my configuration. So it's not currently doing anything. I'm going to open another browser. So I can go to, or I could do that. Thank you so much for the follow, New York 167, helping out there. I should be able to do this. There we go. That triggered it. Right? So I forced it by going and directly pushing the received message, okay, for... Ah, look at that. That's out of the other page. Right? It got the new follower. We should see New York 167 and Andre. We should see pop up here. We hit a breakpoint. The current thread is not associated with the dispatcher. Use invoke async to switch execution of the dispatcher. There you go. Oh, Ed, you're right. Invoke async to get that to fire. And where was the other one? Invoke async. Do I ever use the default value of last event time and first event time, or only check against them? We could turn them into nullable. I'd rather not have a nullable. Wait a sec. That invoke async, it doesn't like calling state has changed. Can I just do it like that? There it goes. Since it's not passing an argument. There we go. That's okay. I'm okay with that firing and going away. Take care, Dee Dee and Ed. Good to see you. So that should update properly. The console that was happening over there on the other page did not dispose of itself properly and stop the signaler hub. That was current channels. In here, this wasn't cleaning up properly when it was ending. So we're gonna have to do something about that. This is current channels.razor. Let's log that issue. Current channels does not stop the signaler hub when navigated away. That's a bug. That's a good first issue if somebody wants to take a shot at it. It's not an enhancement. That's not an enhancement. Help wanted if somebody wants to take a shot. There we go. Alright. Oh, I was going to do CSS animations, but I don't think we're going to get to that. But I think we did get to a pretty nice place here where it's going to animate the screen with this signaler push that, hey, here's the new values to paint on the screen using C#. Right? Here we go. Come on. Come on. Get there. We want to
Do it live!
And we're going to. All right. Here we go. I'm feeling good about this. Feeling so good. Now I can go to my other browser and force that. There we go. And it's updating and counting. Oh yeah. Right? And I can extend the train by forcing through another follower. There it goes. And the timer for how long the train has been going continues. Right? And this is the countdown to when it's going to reset. So when it hits 30 seconds, I'll push it again. And that just continues. But the train is now 3. Nice. Nice. Simple. It's all C#. It's all running on the server, pushing and updating stuff in the browser. Next time, we'll set this up and apply a CSS animation to something on screen. I love the ideas of little train cars, planes, spaceships. Maybe it's the actual follower's profile picture going across the screen. All kinds of things we can do with that, but I really like how easy it was for us to connect these pieces and make this work. Copper Beardy! Thanks so much.
100 bonus 10.
Thanks so much for adding some value. Oh yeah, that was very nice. I will. No, I didn't want to restart it. I just wanted to stab. So let me go back over. I'm going to log that very kind cheer from Copper Beardy. I'm going to put it right up here. And that was. I'm going to make it 110 because you used the subway. The subway bits. Use the subway bits all month long here on Twitch, and you'll get an extra 10% on your bits, thanks to our friends at Subway. There we go. Thanks so much. All right, let's. We're not done yet. We gotta wrap up. We gotta put our toys away here, friends. Hang on, that's not right. There it goes. All right, let's commit some source code. There it is. All right. There's the 4 files we updated. Looks good to me. Let's see. Finished. And this is really minimum viable. Minimum viable product of the user activity train. It works. It reports the user activity changes. It shows it on the screen. And we've got a nice little timer to show that, hey, this has happened. We've got some additional steps that we can take to make that cleaner, make it look better. Well, let's get rid of the frame around the screen. Let's start putting some more customization in there so that when you embed the train on your website, it looks a little bit better. Maybe you have some custom CSS that you want to apply when you use it, not on a website, but when you embed it in OBS here, so that it looks appropriate and fits in with your theme. Or maybe there's some CSS that we want to save with your configuration from the configuration page. All kinds of great ideas. Thanks so much to Jonathan for sharing the ideas over there on the GitHub issue. This has really come together, and maybe in the next week, we'll actually show it to Imperial in person, live at TwitchCon. We might be able to do that. Thank you for the follow, Kryptonite. Appreciate you joining us, but I'm getting ready to do a raid here. And I think I'll kick off that raid command. Let's take a look at who's streaming out there. We raided Fairy Wings last week, but I want you to know she is streaming right now if you want to go check her out. I'm going to take a quick peek at who else is streaming. You know what? I've got to do it. I was mentioning that she's who we're going to be showing folks, showing this to, and who we're going to support with this. Ed just started. Great. Make sure you check out Ed. But let's raid. I'm going to raid Imperial. This is who we've been building this train for. I'm going to raid Imperial. Let her know that we support the folks in the creative community. There's a shout out for Ed. Thanks so much. Our friend Imperial, she's putting together right now, and I want to support the folks in the creative communities. She's working on a Star Wars messenger bag that she's going to be using over there on for TwitchCon next week. So, friends, if you're going to join us for the raid, copy that first line out of chat and get ready to use it copied onto your clipboard. If you're not a subscriber, that's okay. Grab the second line out of chat and get ready to go over and say hello to our friend Imperial. All right. I'll see you Sunday live from Seattle. Take care, everyone.